Canadian Polar Explorers by Austin Mardon, Catherine Mardon, Lucas Noziad, Kelty Squires, and Ella Elazkani. Typeset by Kelsey Skeen. Narrated by Hana Hubley. Ah, for just one time I would take the Northwest Passage, to find the hand of Franklin reaching for the Beaufort Sea, tracing one warm line through a land so wild and savage, and make a Northwest Passage to the sea. Westward from the Davis Strait, 'tis there 'twas said to lie, the sea route to the Orient for which so many died, seeking gold and glory, leaving weathered, broken bones, and the long-forgotten lonely cairn of stones. 3 centuries thereafter I take passage overland, in the footsteps of brave Kelso, where his sea of flowers began, watching cities rise before me, then behind me sink again, this tardiest explorer driving hard across the plain. And through the night, behind the wheel, the mileage clicking west, I think upon Mackenzie, David Thompson, and the rest, who cracked the mountain ramparts and did show a path for me to race the roaring Fraser to the sea. How then am I so different from the first men through this way? Like them, I left a settled life, I threw it all away, to seek a Northwest Passage at the call of many men, to find there but the road back home again. Stan Rogers, Northwest Passage. Preface. The Arctic and Antarctic, called the polar regions, may indeed be cold, but they are far from desolate. Both extremes of the world are filled with life, resources, and a number of fascinating natural phenomena seen nowhere else on Earth. The poles are infamous for being covered in total darkness, but that is only seasonal. In fact, the opposite occurs as well, as the sun traverses the sky and never sets. Despite these challenges, humans have conquered the harsh landscape of the regions. For instance, the Inuit have cultivated a way of life in the northern polar region by mastering the environment around them. While habitation of the Antarctic has never really been prominent, these days the region is home to many researchers, adventurers, and the like. They have had to use technology to survive, but survive they have, and have brought us vast amounts of knowledge about the last regions of the planet to be explored. Exploration of these regions was, indeed, a global endeavor, concerning many empires and nations. However, this book focuses on the exploration of the polar regions from a Canadian perspective. Canada, of course, owes itself to the Arctic in many ways. The borders of Canada encompass a significant portion of the Arctic Circle. It was also Canada's Arctic region that was sought after by explorers from the 15th century to today. For the Antarctic, Canada has made a major impact on exploration and research. Despite not having many places named for Canadians, compared to Australia, Norway, and Great Britain, Canadians have often been a part of many exploratory teams and research expeditions to this very day. Having been a part of, but not the stars of the expeditions, Canadian contributions have gone graciously under the radar. Thus, this book seeks to isolate that Canadian contributions to the polar regions from the multinational endeavors to discover, explore, and research the regions. Arctic versus Antarctic. Before continuing, it is important to explain the differences between the Arctic and Antarctic. Despite these regions both being icy and cold, there are important differences between them, from geography to biological life. The Arctic, to begin with, in its most simple form, a frozen sea bordering the northern edges of the continents. It is not a landmass like North America or Europe. The islands that are part of the Arctic Circle
Sample complete. Ready to continue?